All right, it's a new day. Hopefully coming at this a bit more fresh will help. I did spend a few minutes trying to think of, I guess, some other method of approach that might help. So let's see. The simplest four-prong shape that I know of is, I guess it'd be this. Right? So I'm wondering, can I just basically just take this shape and start changing it to try and get 5 prongs out of the other tiles? Like, what would I need to do that? Yeah, we basically just take this and start just changing its shape without changing the number of prongs. Like, we can do this, ignoring this for now. We'd have to go, I think, up to here in order to get these two to be prongs for that one. How can we split this into even more? Okay, here, see, we could put a piece there, and then that creates an extra prong over here. And we might have to do something similar on this side. So we have to be careful. I'd want to be able to do something like this. Wait, there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we actually do get 5 prongs here. The issue is we're on the wrong one. I don't see an obvious way to fix that. Ooh, that's annoying. What can I do? I guess... Well... I don't know, can we like shift things over in a way where it's like... I guess like this instead? We're messing up. This isn't allowed, but let's look at this anyway. And actually, the light and dark doesn't really matter at this point. I can swap them all if I need to. Like, if I come up with a solution that's like this, then it just means I have to swap everything. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one does not, it's broken up here now. We'd have to do this. It still has 4 over here, and it has 4 there. So I'm still missing 1 more over here for this. But I'm kind of out of space to do stuff. I could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're still at 4. Getting a 5th one. I need to create a branch somewhere, but the problem is, like, I could create a branch here, but this breaks things because now we only have 3. And this is like the only place I can put one to fix that. Wow. Okay. Wait. I have it reversed. I have 5 and 4 on the wrong ones. Okay, but no. Hold on. Okay, no, this wouldn't quite work. I was wondering if I could like mirror it, but I can't because these two and this would This would become the 5-star if I mirror it, and then this would become the 4-star, and we can't have them on the same one. I need. What do I need to do? I need to turn this one off. If I can make it work with this one off, the problem we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. I need to create another one somewhere. We could create one here, but then this breaks. Where else can I put it? Well, I don't see anywhere. Well, can I just take this? Can I just turn that one off? Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This should work if I just mirror it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick little screen cap of this so I don't have to memorize it. Throw this into something I can look at on the side. And then now I can hopefully... I suppose the other thing I could do instead of having a... Well, okay, no, this is easier. And I can't easily share this right now. But I can take the image, flip it horizontal in the image editor I have, and then just copy that. So it looks like this. Oh, but then everything needs to be opposite colors, of course. And okay, wait, no, this doesn't work. What? Oh, I know why it doesn't work. Ah, shoot. Okay. Yeah, hold on, let me go back to what I had, which was this. Right, this doesn't work because I need this. I need this to actually be a light square. Okay, no, I was thinking it. I was kind of thinking backwards on which one I needed. Yeah, this has to be on, and then this one has to be off. Okay, I mean, maybe I should just... Maybe it, since we're so close, maybe I can just, Okay, hold on. Maybe I can just, set it up the other way. Now that I have that image, I can go back to it anytime I want. So let me just fill it in with the opposite, just to see what I can do. I think it's like that. This is mirrored and with the on-off switched. And yeah, okay, so this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to get rid of one of those while connecting. This is the kind of the only... This is the only place I can go that connects them. We can't have this... 1, 2, 3, 4... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one has 3, though. We get the 4 there. Now this only has 3. Man. I suppose alternatively I could start with the 5-prong shape and then do what I did and try to find ways to modify it to create a 4-prong one as well. Let's see, that creates 3. Is there a way to get what? Oh no. I don't think this shape works here, right? But anything I do also doesn't work. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. There's not any simple modifications I can make. I don't think. 1, 2, 3 still. I need to that extends it. I need to split it. But I don't see a way to split it that doesn't break the other one. That's only 4. 1, 2, there's still only 3. There's 4 there. Now that only has 3. Okay, yeah. We're kind of going in circles a little bit here. We're kind of stuck. Okay, what is so we know like what the simplest 4-prong is. What would be the simplest 5-prong? Would it be just to, I guess you starting with the 3, you go like this to get 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. You just add on another 2 to get 5. And then is there some way I can turn this and connect it there? And I get 4. We have these little triple groups that don't work, and if I close them off, it prevents me from extending it. But what are other ways to make 5 prongs connecting this? Well, hold on. We can't quite. We can't like shove this shape into there. You can do this, but then we can't select that one. I guess connecting it, that is fine. What do we do about this whole area? We could extend this out. Oh, but it's gonna make it part of the same group, which we don't want. I could take this and kind of rotate it that way, but then we're back to this. Oh man. Okay. What if we try connecting it there. Okay, actually, so, well, okay, now this shape is rotated around this way. I see. The problem is having too many along here, but I mean, we can do stuff like that and that's fine. Just needs to flip the colors at the end. Okay, but this is still only 4. And to create 5, I have to do something like that. Now, what can I do? One, two. Oh, it's very close, kinda. We do need to close that off if we're doing it this way, and that's actually fine. That doesn't change here. But in order to make this work, we'd have to do that. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, oops, hold on. I'm gonna take a picture of this one just so I don't forget it if I need it. Okay, because now we can just do this. Make sure I'm not missing any, and then we do this. Holy crap. Insane. Okay. Can't believe I got it. Oh, it only took me 20 minutes versus like, how long was I working on that yesterday? It had to have been on the order of an hour at least, I think. That was a 4-hour session, and oh man. Okay, whatever. Anyway, new puzzle. We've got a bunch of 3 prongs and a path that has to be made. Ooh. So this path cannot touch any of the prong shapes. And the prong shapes cannot be combined. I feel like there's enough constraints here. This one won't be as bad, but we'll see. So we have to make a path, I think, that outlines the prongs. So, for example, we could do something like this. And like that. We could create a 3-prong shape here. We need to somehow help this one too, though. Okay, but then the path can't do this. Like, I'm going to have to go here or here, and neither of those options works. Is it possible to come this way? Okay, actually, before I get too far into this, let me. What are other ways? What are ways to make the three prongs? We can. I guess this is the simplest one, right? And then we can extend these other ones as much as we need to. We can't do that. But we can create little pads off of them, right? This one will still be happy. And actually, in this simple setup, you can test, like, this is not going to work for this, right? Yeah, it doesn't like that. Even though I would still consider that 3 prongs, it doesn't want groups like this. I need to take off this one in order to make it work. I don't know how to articulate that rule exactly. But it's like the whole shape needs to be kind of as thin as possible, I guess you could say, maybe. So, you know, anything like Like that doesn't work, but that works because now it's like it's a one wide path. Anyway, okay. I also remember that we can use the negative space around it. That's fine, but we need to also be able to have a path through here. Well, just for fun, can we just do this and then somehow make 3 shapes out of this that don't connect to the path? I don't think so. We run into a problem right here. Because I need to block off these two from each other. And I can't turn any of them on because that messes up the path. And actually, for sure, the path can never go through them because we can't have 3 prongs on a path. A path is kind of by definition 2-pronged. So those all definitely have to be off, and I can't separate these two without breaking the path. So, you can't just do something simple like that. We have to kind of do a zigzag of some sort. We could do something like that. But then how do I separate these two? And how do we deal with this one? Kind of do something like that. Like that creates 3 prongs for this one, right? That works? It does, yeah. Okay, but we can't create 3 prongs here for each of these. Oh, man. Okay, actually, because these two have to be separated, they all have to be separated from each other somehow. Does that mean we have to do like some sort of back and forth zigzag or something? How are we gonna make that work if that's like I can't turn on any of these if I do this. So we need to. The outline of the path is kind of restricting. Like in order to make a 3-prong shape with the outline of the path, you have to have room somewhere that's not part of the path to place another one. That could be on, right? We can do this. I said they say these have to be off, but really they just have to not be on the path. They can still be on as long as the path does not touch it. If I bring the path this way, what can I do to make this 3-prong happy? And this one happy? I'm kind of suspecting one of them is going to have to be turned on. Maybe we can do this. Then we can't do that unless we turn away. Then we can't satisfy this one. What other shapes can I make over here? I don't think there's any way. The restriction of the path not having branches is making this tricky. It makes me think going this way is not the way to do this. We can't do that because that would be touching this one. Because this one's in a corner, being in a corner is kind of interesting because you have to go a little bit of a distance away. Or no, you can do this. Okay, with this one here, I don't suppose there's like some way I can do. No. We can't do this because now the path is gonna end up invalid. Man, how can I make 3 with this one? I guess like that. How do we deal with this? This can only really go in one of these spots, like that. Oh, man, this is actually really close. I think this is the only one that's not happy, right? Yeah. Problem is I don't have anywhere to put it. This is like the only other thing I can enable here without breaking the path. But that doesn't work. And those break the other one. We can't touch this one. There's something I can do if I... No, that messes that one up. Is there a way to fix that? Not really. Yeah. Is there a way for this one to be off instead? Oh, okay, we could do something like this, but now... okay, now this one is not happy. Ah! And it's close, but yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. I'm thinking like this sort of shape is kind of nice in combination with the path. Is there some way I can do something similar? Like over here? Not really because of this one. Oh, yeah, we can't do that, fortunately. So yeah, okay. Now it's like everything except the path is happy. Is there a way I can make the path happy here? Preserve everything else? Yeesh. This area needs to change. Yeah, we can do that, but that... Now we're breaking this. uh... That's breaking that. And that. Oh, no. Oh, actually, why is this one? Oh, that's why, because we're connected there. We can't do that. Yeah. All right, back up for a second. This one has to be off. Because the path has to go along one of these, and the path cannot touch these. So this one just is guaranteed off. Is there some way for both of these to be part of an off group? Let's start with something like that, because we can maybe guarantee that this one is supposed to be on or off, or no? Well, let's see. We can do stuff like this. We have to separate them. If we wanted both of them to be off, they need to be separated somehow, right? We'd separate them kind of with some diagonals. We would need to end up going pretty far up here. Wait, ignoring the path for a moment. Like just what can I do? Okay, well no, that doesn't work because yeah, we need for both of these to be off, we end up needing to do... there's too many ways to do this. I really just need to know, is there some way to do it? I can't really ignore the path. I need to know if there's a way to do it without guaranteeing the path is broken. I don't really... my feeling is that that's not really possible, or at least not practical or useful. So, I mean, my guess is that this one just has to be on. Like, that's just going to be much easier. And if this one has to be on, that means the path cannot go this way. Path can never touch these. So we're basically forcing the path to go up here by saying this. Is there anything we can do similarly up here? We have too many options. Yeah. So we know we can't just go straight up, because we have to separate these somehow. Actually, is this one guaranteed to be off? Because if we wanted to have this part of an on group, that means the path can not go through any of these. And it's going to also end up with another large buffer around it, right? Because now if you wanted to make... that means that this one has to be off. All of those still have to be off. And making a three-prong on shape over here, there's just not enough space. So my guess is that this one also has to be off. Probably both of these almost certainly have to be off. This one definitely does. This one probably does. This one probably has to be on then, right? Not necessarily. Though there is enough space. No, I think this one's probably going to have to be off as well. Then we're going to need like some angles here so we can... We're just going to end up back at a similar shape we had already. Yeah, because if I wanted to go all the way up to here, instead we just have like fewer options. And we need to somehow create 3 over here. I think we want this one on because we can't turn on either of these. I mean, we could go down, but that doesn't work. Can't turn on either of these, then it has to be like this, otherwise this one can't work. I mean, unless this either goes like this or like this, and I feel like I feel like this way has some too much restriction up there. I'm guessing this way. Can't go there, so we'd have to go somewhere over here. Oh, wait. I don't know if I can make this one work. I only see ways of making two. You know, I think this one can never be on since you can't loop back around, and going up through here is not an option. I guess for similar reasons, that one can never be on. Or that one. No, I mean, well, okay. I need to be careful. This one can never be on. Yeah, because of the path. These ones could be on because they won't be part of the path. This one here, if this one was on it, it becomes part of the path, and that can never work. So these ones can be on, of course. In order to make this one three-pronged, but we don't have a way of doing this. Yeah. No. Okay. It takes care of that, but what do we do here? Is this not similar to what I tried already? I think it's slightly different. Oh man. It feels weird to be in a situation where there's too many prongs and I don't know how to get rid of one. Yeah. Yeah, that's really annoying. We need both of these. And then we're happy. We can't. And I don't know what I can do. There's some other way to make this work. We can't select any of these. Oh wait, can I just do that? How did I not see that earlier? Wow. Yeah, okay. How many have we gone through? This is the second group on the moon. Jeez. I think all of them have had like 3 or 4 whole groups of puzzles already. But there's still a little bit to go. Making progress though. Oh, okay. So this two pip one means there's no like snaking along. Wait a minute. Oh, what is happening? Oh, okay. I saw the outline on the other grid. Okay, this is a new thing. So we'd have to have something that somehow satisfies all of them at the same time. Or both of them. Wow, wait, what? Okay, I think we have to kind of go around like this, but maybe like this. This doesn't work here. It doesn't work there. We could do that for the triple. Like, oh, I guess like that. Okay. These need to be on a group of 10. The path length will be 8. Actually, it might be possible to make the path length 10. But we need 3 around that somehow. And we have to go through... If I wanted to make this part of the path, I would have to go through that. And actually, there's not enough room to kind of go back and forth. Yeah. Okay, wait, what ways are there to get 3 around here? We have to do something like that. Okay, solving this one ended up also solving that one. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Oh well. Okay. Oh, interesting. I see. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this is weird. We need 3 here. We can get 3 that way. And then 3 that way. Oh no. Now there's too many there. Or maybe that. Nope, there's 4. There's not enough here. Oh no. 2, 3. Does this one work? That's hard to think about. Oh. Oh. Oh, jeez. We don't satisfy the prong or the dot. A 3 prong in a corner. And with only 2 along this column. It takes care of that one, that one. It does not take care of this one. We can do this to extend it. Okay. Both of those have to be on. Okay, and they're probably trying to trip you up with the positioning of the shapes again. Maybe. Or at this point, they just know you not care about that. But this is a lot of shapes to fill in. We don't have many other restrictions going on. How many cells do we have here? There's 5 there. 9. 13. 16. Yeah, okay. So we're filling both grids completely with all the shapes. That's a lot of shapes to try and fill in. I'm just gonna start throwing stuff around, see what fits. Oh, actually, okay, hold on. Do these? Oh, okay. So, due to the nature of the shapes, I don't think any of these 4 can share the same grid with these, right? Because these all extend in 3 cells along one of their axes, so they would overlap Unless there's a way to fill in a 2x4 with these. And I don't think that's possible with these particular shapes. Okay, so I think in this case, these 4 shapes can fit on one grid, and I guess it technically doesn't matter which. These 4 shapes fill in this grid. Okay, but both grids are going to be identical. So there should be the same number of cells turned on, right? There's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay. Those are just 2 different groups of shapes that make the same overall pattern. And we have these 2 as being forced to turn on. So how do we fill in? You could fill them in like that. Does that satisfy this? No, it does not. Okay, I mean, we could kind of just like try things. There's not that many different options. Close. Oh, we don't have that. Yeah, I kind of feel like I could just try different ways of filling in these shapes over here, and then I don't think there's very many. There's not very many combinations of things to try, so we can't do stuff like that because we don't have any isolated ones that are on. But we need room for this somewhere. And that's gonna have to fit somewhere like that. Yeah. I don't think I've tried. I don't think I tried this. Oh wait, no, that's not the same. We can do that, but then there's nowhere for this one to fit in. It would be like that, but that doesn't work. Put that one over there, maybe. That's not gonna work. I feel like there's limited things to try. So we could just try everything until it works. So there's only 2 options for where this can go up here. Then there's only a few ways that this can go down here. 2 ways, right? Yeah. If that doesn't work, then okay, we tried that and that. There's not enough space for this one in this sort of setup. And this is the only way that one can fit there. We could try this. Yeah, that and that. Then I don't think I've tried. I don't know what I've tried. Let's try this first. That one won't work. This one. This doesn't have as many options. That doesn't work. Okay, don't forget I can try this, but that doesn't work. Okay, try this. Nope. Nope. This one's a pain. Mm. Okay, what have I not tried? Where can it go? It can go over here. It can go right here. We can't do that. There's nowhere to fit in this one. It might be easier to do the bottom grid. Like, get stuck on this much longer. I'll try that. These have to both go here. Yeah. And there's like only two options for where this can go. And then if we have that there, that's forced to go there. But then we don't have the space for the other one. It has to go there. Okay, wait, so this, what, does that not work? Oh, that's why. I had that same problem. Okay, can I... What can I do? Is there not a mirror or rotation of this that would work? Yeah, we can't do that. That's annoying. Yeah, we got the wrong S. Or the wrong S piece. Okay, well. Maybe just try this. Because these... There's a limited number of options for how these can be arranged. Right, we could stick this first one up here. Well, okay, but they can also be rotated a lot. That kind of balloons the number of possibilities. But then there's the restriction of these shapes. Like, we can see that this does not work, right? Because this does not match the S shape. So I guess, is there some way that this can be rotated to make that work? I doubt it, because now there's no way to make use of this one. To rotate it this way, we have the same problem. And this also doesn't work. The S shape goes the wrong way. So this one can't go up here. Can it go over here? There's only a few options. We do that. I don't think that works. Does it? Well, you'd have to put one here. And then there's two ways that this can go. Either that or that. Yeah, I noticed, I don't think I said it, but I noticed that when you try the same thing, it remembers which solutions you've tried, and it kind of shortcuts the animation of checking. So I noticed that when I tried this configuration, it did the 1-by-1 check. I think that means I hadn't tried it before. This... yeah, we can't make this work. And we can't turn that one off. Okay, I think I've already tried all of them here then. So this one probably doesn't go over here. We can make it work over here. Right, so that's fine. And there's a few options here. None of those work. And this shape doesn't make any sense. I don't see any way to connect these either. I mean, you can do that, but then you have an extra. That doesn't work. And this is the one I tried first, right? Okay, well, if I didn't miss anything, then that means that it has to go over here somewhere. If we do this, there's no way to fit the shapes. If we do that, we can fit this in there. Okay, not sure how I missed this case earlier. But yeah, okay. Ended up just having to kind of brute force that one. Oh, this is actually very interesting. We can't. Can the paths actually meet? They can. Okay, but you wouldn't want them to. This just needs to be a little group of 4, but we need a group of 4 up there as well. So I don't think it's going to be as simple as that, because you can't have this and also set up a group of 4 up here at the same time without connecting the paths. I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of these groups crosses the boundary, though. Oops, I didn't mean to check. Right, you could do this. But how would you even make that work? I mean, you could theoretically have the paths go across too, but yeah, with the way that works, that there's not going to be a solution like that. And I don't think we can actually do this because it's going to end up connecting the paths in a way that doesn't work. Okay. I stumbled on that. I was lucky. Oh. Okay, yeah. So now we have a path that does need to go across the boundary. But we have... Okay, this one's definitely going to be an off. Okay, and it's tricky because of the way the boundary works. Can't... Oh, wait. Does this work? No. We're not connecting on the... We've got too many things going on here. Okay, we need that one and this one. Oh, this is weird. Does this one have to be on in order to make the path keep going up? We can Oh, okay, we have to be careful. Oh, no. Hmm. Oh, it's actually tricky not to connect the paths on both sides. I guess maybe is it only a case if I go down? Is it easier if I go up? Oh, but if I do like this, that already guaranteeing. But it doesn't work. Um, I don't know if I've tested. Can the paths like loop? Can there be a loop in the path? As in, okay, you can't have a branch. Like this is not going to work. Can I even set this up? I don't know. I don't think I can set it up in this scenario. At least not easily. But if there's like if there's a continuous loop that connects both points, but with no branches, does that also work? I don't know if I've tested that. At least not deliberately. And I don't know if there's a way that I can test it. Oh, this one's crazy, man. Oh dear. I need to think of it as two different paths, I guess, that connect to each other. Kind of. Yeah, I need to think of it as kind of looping around. Oh, but we still run into that problem there. No. Okay, I think we created a path there. So yeah, so the way to think about this is the path needs to cross the boundary. There needs to be a separate path here that connects that connects them together. That one is so. Oh no! Oh, now it's mirrored. Okay. Oh, now this is making me think of some of those witness puzzles. How do I want to do this? I don't think they can touch the centers, right? Actually, hold on. Well, the paths can't touch the center. Can they? I don't think so. Okay, but this needs to be in a group of its own, right? So it has to be on, but not part of the path. We could do that, right? That takes care of that. But we need to somehow take care of this one too. We could combine both of these for somehow a group of 5, but that's also tricky. depending on how we do this. A group of 5, but we're symmetrical. So, well, we can get an odd number by using the center line. Right? So that works, but we can't quite. We do that for the 3, and then we need an extra 2. So that works. How do we deal with this 3? It can't be part of the path. We can't go. Oh, yeah, we're kind of stuck. Okay, yeah, we're stuck here. There's some other way we could do this. We're still kind of stuck. Unless you can come up with something better up here. Man, kind of close. Oh, wait. How did I not see that earlier? Okay, perfect. All right, now we got... oh, it's rotationally symmetric. Oh dear. All right, well, we need 5 around this, and there's one of them, so we need 4 more somehow. If we do something like that, we're gonna have to do something like that. We have 3 there already, but see, there's 1, so we can't just do that. We can't connect there. We could... No, we can't do that. We could do this. No, okay, well, we need to connect this. So... Maybe, is there a way just to do this? I don't think so, because you need 5 here. So this can't be broken, because you can't do either of those if it's like that. So it's not just a straight path through there. So one of these 2 is guaranteed off. Let's try... Oh, we could try this. That takes care of that. And that path. And that. So then we just need an extra 3 here. But that breaks this. Crap. Yeah. Oh, man. So close. Try them anyway, just to make sure. We can't go here. Okay, so that's not working. Is there some way else? We need the 5, but that... The center part is interesting. Okay, so hold on. This one is definitely on. These ones are all definitely on. 5 of these are, which means we either go like this or we go like this. Right? Which guarantees these ones to be on. It guarantees both of those to be on. It guarantees all of these. Now there's only one more on here, which is one of these two. We need 4 along this, which is down here. 3 along here. Okay, well, if we were to connect this, then we would have to connect this. And I think this is what I tried previously. So if we connect this, then we can't use that, which means we have to use that, which means we can't go there, so we have to go down here and around this way. Okay, that was satisfying. I was able to actually work through the way to the solution. Much prefer that over having just a giant random search space. Although I'm guessing in those cases there are strategies I haven't realized for working through them, at least some of the time. Okay, so here we have rotationally symmetric again. Here's a similar situation. We can say the same thing where we have to have the 3 opposite on. And we end up in a similar situation here. So these all have to be on. Okay. Now... Okay, actually, there's an interesting thing here. This one can't be on because then we're going around this way, and that doesn't work. So this has to be on, which means this one has to be off. Which means this one has to be on. I think we're just going like that then. But we're not connecting the paths unless we do that. Okay, now we're on a rotationally symmetric grid. How do we think about this one? This one needs 5. But the grid is 6 wide. Is there a way to get 5 there? Well, okay. I mean, there is potentially. We can't do anything like that. Oh. Yeah. Not make too weird of shapes. Okay. I'm trying to decide how if this. I think this 5 is probably going to have to be combined with this 3. Is there a way to do that? Let me end up going through it. Well, that creates 5. We get the 5 that way, but now that doesn't work, and we need the 3 here. That gets us the 3. We we still can't do that though. Hmm. Oh, there's 3. Yeah, I suppose we can make a path length of 8, right? So we could have a path that goes through the 5 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, maybe we can't. Let's there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That doesn't work. And everything. We need to be a path length of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah, I'm not really seeing a way to make that work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, wait, yeah. Is it possible for the... It's not possible for these to be part of the same group. Is it? I mean, okay, well, maybe it is. Or we just do that. Okay. These both only have 1. These need 3. Okay, but the 3 means we kind of have to go around them. Oh, but these 2 are kind of interacting. Because if we do... We can't... right, the path can't go through... The path can't go through these. Any point along the path will always have 2 points next to them. So how can I satisfy this and this simultaneously? We need... Oh, there's 1 on the starting point. Okay, well that means we can't go here. So we could loop around that 3. We could loop around that 3, and then we loop around this 3 like that. Ugh. There's a lot of stuff. Take care of that too. Can I do a similar thing where we have like 4, 5, 6, and then mirrored 6 as well? I don't think so, because we'd have to do some shenanigans up there, unless we do something like this. How big is this grid? 4 by 8? Yeah, okay, 8 by 8. We were to connect to here. Maybe connect them both. We can't. Is it possible to connect to both of these on both paths? It is kind of like that, but then I don't know if I want to touch that 2 up there. We might want to touch this one and this one. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. The path is going to be far longer than 9, though. And if we have to go here, Okay, yeah, I don't think the full path touches all the triangles because you'd have to connect to this one. Well, okay. I mean, I guess it could touch all the triangles. Does that happen to work? No. Okay. Is there a way to change the path so that it does work? I don't think so, because we need this one. We need that one. Okay. That was just an interesting thing to try. How long is the path, though? 1, 2. Yeah, it goes all the way up to 17. So that doesn't work. Okay, yeah, this is starting to get hard to figure out again. Man. Oh, nope, don't do that. Like the last two on each area are getting really hard. I want to cut off the two there, maybe. We'd have to avoid that too as well. We can kind of snake around like that, but then we're stuck. Oh, unless we do this. Wait, does that just happen to work? I can't believe it. Okay. Okay, yeah, sure. This is interesting. So we need 5 prongs along the center line. How are we going to do that? I guess you kind of need to do something like that. But that doesn't quite work. And that's going to be too many. And this one has to be empty, of course, because you can't have 5 prongs on the path. Okay, hold on. So let me think about this. So just like in general, there's gonna be an empty gap, an empty space in the middle. And because of the way the paths work, the paths will always be dividing this into three spaces. So I think this has to be the outer one, and this has to be the inner one, and somehow we get 5 prongs. I don't really see how that's going to be possible. Yeah, what? Those have to be on. We can make prongs. Just do this as a simple. Too many, of course. It would be like that. That creates a 5-prong shape there. How do we create 5 prongs over here? It'd be something like this. Okay, but how do we make a path that connects here without breaking the prongs? That's the problem. We don't have enough base to work with. Okay, alternatively, is it possible? Okay, I don't think it's possible for the paths to like cross in the middle, right? Like, so like that's fine, but then I can't connect them. Okay, this is a little concerning then. How does this... Unless I can, like, go around the outer edge and then somehow... split the middle, but if I wanted to split, we'd have to kind of create corners. Oh, yeah, maybe this will work somehow. I need to... So this splits there, but we need to... We need to split this maybe somewhere else. Only 4. And we can't do anything with the edge there. We have to... That only creates 4. How many does this make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 3. That's 4. Is there a way for the path to kind of do something like this? Trying to... No. I know we can't... We can do that, but... No, we can't use this one. Maybe this one needs to go across the center with how it counts things. I can get 5 this way. But we're still short and the paths are still broken. That creates 5 there. I don't see a way to fix the paths here, though. While also preserving the prongs. We can go there to... Well, okay, well, this actually preserves the prongs, doesn't it? But then this is a problem. We can't, like, do that. Yeah, we fix the paths, but we lose out on the prongs here. Let's try this. No, this is not gonna work. Oh, wait, hold on. It's not quite this one. Oh, wait, the path. The path. Okay. Third set of puzzles. With the moon. Okay. What is going on here? Okay, I think I understand. So they they require a different number of tiles depending on whether they are part of the on group or the off group. That's fun. So, okay, actually, they have to all, because because of a 3x3 grid, we have to have all of them be 3. So, yeah. But then we need 2. So we do, no, wait, what is the way to do this? Oh, I guess they can be combined. It's fine. Okay, and all these are 3 and 2s. We're in a 4x4. Okay, that's fine. There's enough to work with. Oh, right. So if the paths always have 2 on them, right? So we can just do that. Oh, it mirrors them depending on the color. Okay. Well, we need this shape somewhere. And we need that shape somewhere. We could do this. But if this one is on, it is a subset of this shape. We did both of them on and part of this. Can we get both shapes in here? We have one of them like this. The other one, if we use this, would have to be like that, and that doesn't work. Or no, then okay, that's wrong as well. It would have to be. Oh, okay, maybe there's not a way to do it. We can do this. Can we make this shape somewhere? It just needs to contain the shape, right? Yeah, okay. So, can we not do this? Oh, wait. Oh, both of these, wait, hold on. Both of these are empty. Okay, I think, as usual, the position of these shapes means nothing. They're only in the grid so that you can do this, change them, right? So that doesn't work outside the grid. So if that one's on, then we actually need to fit both of these shapes, which fits right here. No, it doesn't, because we would need like that. Yeah, okay, it's one off. Oh man. We made them both on. We already tried that, and I don't think there's another way to. Oh, we could place this one. Where can we put? We can put that one like there. But that doesn't work. Can't really put it anywhere else. At least not somewhere that works. Wait, did I do this right? Yeah. I think one of these has to be off at least, right? That one fits there. Does that fit everything? No. We're missing, Okay, wait, we should check. We're in a 4x4, so it's 16. We have 5 and 8. And 8. Okay. Yeah, so we have to fill the full grid with all 4 shapes. So what are some ways to fill in these shapes? Thinking like allowing for either of these. Like as long as if we can just figure out a combination that works, we could like this. Like we have like sort of this sort of thing. Okay, wait, that does actually just work, doesn't it? Okay. Oh shoot, okay, and that just completely changed the shape. So that's a little trickier. They're at least the same number of tiles. Do we have to fill the full grid again? We have 6, 10, plus 10 is 20. We have a, yeah, 4x5. Okay, we're filling the full grid again. And this actually changes them from solid to empty as well, which is kind of nuts. Oh boy, how do we even start figuring this one out? Just try something and see what we can do. Let's leave that one off. That fits there. Wait, does that? No, it does just work. Okay, I got lucky, I guess. The first thing I tried somehow magically worked. I'm sure there's multiple ways to solve it. So that changes from 4 to 3. All of them are 4 when off and 3 when on. We have 4 plus 5 is 9. We have is 13, right? Yeah. So we're not filling the full grid. Okay, but if like we could stick an empty one here to fill that. We could do that. I don't think I can fit the last piece up here though. Where can I fit it, actually? But then we can't do anything about that one. So we have 9. Yeah, we have 9 turned on. So if we turn on 3 of these, if we can take these 2 shapes and cover 3 of these, that would be perfect. Is there a way to do that? Wait, it's like... Oh, it would overlap here. I guess we could do this instead. No, it still overlaps. Okay, maybe we start by placing this one. This one's a little trickier. Yeah, because then we can do that. But then we have... We don't have anywhere to put the last one. So that's not right. Stick that there. That doesn't work. Okay, wait, how do I actually fit in all these shapes? Ah! Here we go. Yeah, really all I had to do is figure out how to fit in the shapes, and then there's only a few ways to do that. These changes their shape. Oh man, they're all changing different ways. Oh, gosh. Well, that takes care of that shape. Do the others magically fit? No, we don't have... Oh, this one's solid. And it's always solid. Both of these are always solid, so we have to somehow... And there's nowhere I could fit this in with this sort of path, is there? If we do some sort of shape like this, we can fit in one of these. But then we don't have anywhere to fit in the other one. Oh, can we fit in both of them if we do something like this? One of them there. Then we can't fit in the other one and the path at the same time. We could fit one there and then one there, but that doesn't work either. And we would need to cover both of these. That's not helping anything, and there's only one, and that doesn't work with the path there. Or I guess you could do that. You don't need to select that one. Well, this fits in both the two different shapes, but... that's not what I need now. That's kind of annoying. And I can't just like shift this over. Right? Pretty sure it doesn't work. You fit in both of those. Yeah, the path doesn't work here anymore. Oh, and this actually doesn't work. I misremembered what that shape was. Exactly. I was thinking of the mirror of it. We have to fill the whole grid again. I need to make sure to check that on these smaller grids. We have 20 again, and we have 10 plus 7. Yeah, so we only have 17. Okay, well. You can fit in a shape like that. I think I already tried this. There's no way to place that in a way. And we can't loop around the other direction. That's not gonna work. Unless we do this. But we don't have a way to stick both of those in. Did I not try that already? I guess not. I don't know how I didn't see that. I saw some similar ones. Okay, that's interesting. Hold on. Right. Okay. If this one is alone, it has to be on an off tile. I forgot about that. Okay, so we end at one of these. And we have to fit in two of those and one of those. We have to fit in one of these shapes, two of these shapes, and end at one of these. That's kind of where we're at. Here we go. I love it when just the first random thing I try happens to work out. All of these are 3. Okay, but we don't have any other shapes to worry about. We cannot go through any of these with the path. We just do that. That takes care of those. How do we take care of these? Can we do something like this? No, that doesn't work. And we can't touch any of them. We would need 12. This is there's 10 of them here. And I can't just like click one of these to fix that. And if we do something like this, or no, wait, hold on. Okay, I was getting some things. I can go through these just fine. I was thinking of the dots. So this is fine. If there's a way, the path would have to be a multiple of 3, right? So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have one too many up here. And this is definitely more than 8. Is there... Okay, there's probably some other path I can take, huh? If we go around, that's not going to work. 1, 2, 3, 4... That's 5. 9, yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We would need one more. And that's hard to get. 2, 3... okay, but if we get... Yeah, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, but we don't have the right number here. We can do that. And then up here, we just need 8. There we go. Oh, wait, I miscounted somewhere. 3. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking here. 4, 5, 6. Oh, I was counting up to 9, but I need a third one. Make that work. I don't think I can add a third one without making the path longer. Well, that works. Right, 3, 3, 3. And then there's 4 there, and we just need to somehow get 3 there. Okay, the ending is in one of those. And we have 2 over here. The easiest thing with that is just to have the path go through it, of course. And then can we just create the number of prongs we need here somewhere? We can also do that. But we can't really do that because now we don't have a good way of separating these. We can't do that. If we are going through this, is there another way? Not really. I mean, we could do that. We can do this, but now we don't. Okay, yeah, we don't have a way to separate these again. This can also do stuff like that. I don't think that helps. I can also end here. Let's not forget that. Maybe that's easier. We can just do that. But then these. It's a little tricky. We definitely can't do that. We don't have any other options here if we want to go through this. Maybe we don't want to go through this, but that's what I'm going with right now, since that's an easy way to satisfy it. Yeah, then we're kind of stuck. Well, one of these has to be... wait, okay, is that true? If both of these are off, they would have to be part of the same group, and we can't have prongs part of the same group. I'm pretty sure I've tested that. I remember testing that. Which means one of these has to be on, which means this one has to be off. Okay. How... Is there another way I can get to here? I could do this sort of thing. I need to get one more for you. We could do that, but now we don't have a way of getting enough prongs for that one. Getting enough prongs for this is actually tricky. Maybe I should start there. Well, starting there is hard too. Like, what are the ways? Like, this is an easy way to get 4. The problem is, it's next to some things. Can't quite make that work. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. No, we need that there. Right, and that still has 2 next to it, so that's fine. I can go either there or there. And this here at least gets us an extra prong. But we're still only at 3. Oops. Okay, well, there are other ways to make that similar shape, and there's different rotations for it. Like we could do this. But if we do this, can we? No, we don't want that to be connected. But now we're stuck. We could do things like this. But if we do that, that would have to be there. And then we can't put anything here because of the path. I could go there instead. We could do that. But this would need to be like that. But then we have this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, maybe that'll work. We don't have enough down here now. We can't just do that. 1, 2, 3. Hmm. Man, what the heck? What are some other ways I can get 3 out of this? I don't have a way of getting 4 here now. Hmm. Okay, with the way the path and this thing interact, there's not a whole lot I can do. Right? Yeah, and if we connect here, we end up not being able to use any of these. And we don't have any way... Oh, that's not gonna work. Ah. I tried just going all the way around already. I think I did, but then we can't use any of these, and that's tricky for making more prongs. We can't make either of these solid. I can get 3 here that way. Getting 4 over here doesn't work. Those are equivalent. It also breaks the path here. We can't do that. If I looked at something that has 3 along the whole side, wouldn't be able to use that one if we did. Can't get this one to work then. Okay, am I sure that I can't end on the 4? I can't do anything about these. This one can't be satisfied when it's... Yeah. Have I gone around this way? I don't know if I've tried going around this way yet. Might be a way to make this work better. There's 4 there, but only 2 there. Okay, but this is interesting. It's at least kind of a new base to explore. We're only getting 3. Like we need to make the path and move differently. Having it go in a straight line doesn't really work. Can we? What if we can't really zigzag around here. Come around here, but no. Oh wait, we can do something like this. That's interesting, actually. Hold on. There we go. This just changes their number of prongs. We have a 1 here. The path just has to touch, probably. The path cannot go onto either of these. We could do something like that. That's fine. Then can we just make like a 5-pronged thing? Okay, we definitely can't go through it. We could... if we turn it on... I don't know if we can turn it on. These two are really close to each other, which is a bit limiting. Oh, unless we have something like this. Nope, not that. That's only 3. How do I get a 4th here? Can I? Okay, but doing this isn't going to work. We're not going to have any room for the path anywhere. If we're going this direction, we pass under it, and that's going to force this one to stay off. Maybe there is a way to turn this one on. Like, can't do that because of that, which is kind of limiting. And that might force this one to be off, actually. Like we have to come all the way out here or do some other thing that breaks. Maybe we don't have anywhere to... Okay, no, we can do this. Yeah, that works. And then if we had like the path come here... and that's fine. And then we would need 4. This is gonna have to stay off. Cool. There's gonna be a 4th one, right? I think like the first couple only had 3 or something, but then most of them had 4, right? Or maybe they all had 4, I can't remember. Okay, now we have an inverted situation here. That's kind of interesting. We have to make a path on the lower one. So we just have to figure out which ones we can turn off. Oh, it's a little tricky there, isn't it? So only one of those and only one of those. These ones can go either way. But if we go here, okay, hold on. So this has to be like, these have to be like this. This needs two of them to be on, which means that these two have to be the way that they are currently. So we can't touch these. And if we can't touch those, then this has to go to the side like this. And then we're here. And we have to somehow turn off two more. Okay, but both of these have to be like this then. And the only way to make the path work is like that. And then we can't do that one, so we go like that. Ah, crap. What? Was it like this? I hit the wrong button. Okay, these... we just isolate that one. Then can we isolate that one? Not like that. We could do this. Oh, whoa, okay, oh, yeah, it has to be like that. I like the way these kind of moon levels are structured. It's like each group of puzzles kind of has an interesting, unique twist. Oh, geez. Okay, well, those have to be like that. We can't do this because that... no, that's actually fine. We can do that. This has 5 though. We need another one. But all of them would break the path. My guess is that's not how that's going to work. And this needs 2. I doubt it can be like this, because if it's like this, then we can only do one of these. And we need to turn off a couple up here, but we can't turn off any of those. We could do this, but then we would need to help the 5 at the top, but there's no way to do that without breaking the path. Therefore, I think that this one has to be on. I'm gonna guess it's something like this, kinda. Okay, no, but if this one's like that, there's no way to make the. Okay, no, I think it has to go up top because the 5. Any path that kind of goes through there is not gonna work. Can we just like outline the 5 and see? We have too many here. That's not gonna work. That almost works. Does this work? It looks like it works. Okay. Well, we start with this, and then this one we know that one has to be off. This one has to be off. And this one, that one, and that one, and that one. Start with something simple here. Just do that, and we can do something like this, and that works. Okay. You just start with these. Both of those have to be off. All of these have to be off. This top one. We can do this. Yeah. Okay, let's just do something and see how this breaks. You turn off a bunch of those. There's okay, some trickiness here. If we share that one, no, those need to be like that. Do that. Okay, but this needs to have one, right? So one of these has to be on. That would need to be like that. We can go like this. Okay, but then this one needs to change, which would force this one to change. Which would force like that, and that would force like that for the path. And then now we have to turn these ones, but this doesn't work unless we do that. But now we have two here, and if we need both of them. Oh man. I suppose an alternative way of thinking about this that might be easier is to say we need to construct an off path up here between the two corners while satisfying this. Like I don't need to look down at the bottom anymore, really. Then we just look at the top. We just know that we have to connect the two corners with a path of off tiles. That fixes everything else. This part doesn't really work. But that's fine there. That's not fine there. This section is weird. We have to do something like that, but that doesn't work. And then we have that, but we can't put that there. We can put that there, but we can't do that. That's fine. That's fine. But the path is not fine like this. Can we just extend this further? There's a path. There's 1, 2. This one needs 1. But if I add 1, we're going to break the 2. We can do this, but then that's broken, so we do that, but then that's broken, so we do that. Kind of cascading issues. Path cannot go down next to these ones or like through these ones. Right? The rules are a little different here, or like my usual intuitions are different. The path still can't go through these because you still end up with 2 touching them. Man, we have too many here now. Too many there. Okay, maybe I'm wondering if all the ones have to be on. Is there some way I can make that? Wait, does that not just work? No, that's broken still. Ah! There's 3 next to the 2. Which means one of those has to go off. Okay, but one of these has to be on. But if I... Like this? What did I miss? Oh, the path isn't... Oh, dang it. Yeah. Wow, this is annoying. What else can I do? I can move the path further down. We need to still... This whole area sucks. What the heck? Both areas suck. Maybe that one needs to be off. How about we run into this problem? Oh, hold on. Nope. Nope, they're still running into issues here. If I turn one of these on, then I have to turn on this one. We have the path go even further down this way. Like if I do this, turn everything off for a second. This one doesn't matter. If I turn on one of these, so the options down here are if this one is on, or well, if either of these are on, then this one has to be on. If either of these are on, then all of those have to be off. Like there's only a couple of options there, right? And then up here, I haven't. It feels like there's only like one arrangement that could possibly work, and that one that could possibly work will be the only actual solution. I could also go through. No, as I said, I can't go through these, right? Because if I was to try and go through them, we would need to have multiple on either side. Problem is, if I fix this one, that requires breaking the path. And as I said, we can't just go through it, right? No. Unless... No, you can't go through it. You could go through what... You could... Actually, hold on. Oops. You could go through one that's on the edge. I think. Right? Because if you go through it, then this one's fine. So if we go around... Okay, but see now this one is a problem because we need to turn one of these off, but either of them will break the path. So is there a way to make the path touch multiple sides of it? Right, that works. And then we have to leave these, we have to leave a lot of... Okay, now we have a problem here now. Because now we need to turn off all but one around here. And we can't touch either of these. Can we go like around this? Yeah, so you can also do this. We still have too much going on up here. Still running into problems with this. Can't turn off either of those. Is there a way for the path to go through that? I don't think so. Unless we go like that. Hello? Oh wait, It's such a simple solution for something that was crazy. Okay. Oh, we have to connect somehow down to here. And if that one needs to be on, we have to do something like this. Wait a minute, how does this... It's weird. Okay. I think this... If we can't just... We can't connect like that. Unless we do that. Okay, but now this is a problem. Can't satisfy both of them at the same time like this. And there's no... This is the right pairing though, right? There's no other pairing between the shapes. Because if you pair the other two, the other path has to cross over. I don't think there's a way to make that work. So if we need that one to be off, we can maybe have the path kind of go that way. Like that. No, oh, wait, hold on. Like that. Okay. Exactly one in this whole column, huh? Well, those have to be like that. Oh, actually, interesting. So having exactly one along that column, that means that the path cannot touch it. Can't do that. The path cannot touch it because if the path was to be connecting across, then both of them would have to connect across, which would be 2. So therefore the path does not cross the center line. But if the path was to touch the middle and then come back, that means you need at least 2, and actually you would need 3. So therefore the path does not touch there. So we just have something that connects both sides. We just have to find a way That also means only one of them is off on this whole column. And that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Here we go. Oh, what? Nope. I misread that. Can we do this instead? No, we need... Okay, it's gotta be something like this. We can't just move that down. Because how we need... Yeah. And actually, this one can't be on. This one can't be, or no, this one can't be on because we have to have this, which would require. It would require this sort of setup, and we can't toggle that one. We have to go. This has to go down. But we need. Okay, so it has to be like those two then, right? No, wait, no. So this one can't be on. It has to be like... Okay, well, it's possible the path actually goes through it like that. We still need something... Yikes, wait, what? Okay, hold on. Hold on. So, if this is off, then both of these have to be off. Sorry, wait, why did I say both of those? If this one is off, both of these have to be on, which means this one has to be off. And this is not allowed because of this. So therefore, this one has to be on. That one has to be off. And if this one is on, then that forces this one to be on. And this one to be off. Now, is there... There's going to be some path where we just kind of do... this doesn't work. We can't have a path that goes all the way across because that's going to break it on the opposite side. Oh, this one has to be like that. Because this is the only way that this one can go. Which means... Wait, we're running to an issue here. No, okay, hold on. This doesn't work. This path to go around like this. That requires... Let's see, that one has to be off. Which means that one has to be off, which means this one has to be on. Okay. Yeah, we're running into an issue here. This doesn't... Well, okay, hold on. This is fine. Maybe we're okay. Yeah, so we can't come back across that way, so we have to go down here again. Let me just like clear out one side and kind of focus on how this is gonna work. So that could, this path could go this way, but if we go here, that breaks the left side. So we have to go here again. And then to keep the left side happy, we have to do that. But that's just gonna keep forcing us to do the same. It's just gonna force us all the way down. And this doesn't satisfy this constraint there. Ooh. We can't. Oh boy. Am I wrong about my initial assumption at the top? There has to be an empty one somewhere along this row, but the problem is, like when you do that, you end up with a situation. Doesn't work. Oh wait, did I figure it out? I was just fiddling with it, kind of trying to. Man. Well, this one has two. Okay, I mean, you could have a situation like this. No, you can't, because these are gonna connect. And you can't connect across there, so you'd have to. Right, okay, that's actually. So the paths cannot cross on the middle because you can't have two of them on either side. Okay, that's good to know. So that one has to be on, this one has to be off, this one has to be off, this one has to be off, this one has to be off. Now, if they can't cross, like there's no way for them to. The path has to connect to here, basically, and we need to have somehow two in the middle, and I don't think that can't be part of the path. Because it would require the path to loop back on itself, I'm pretty sure. Okay. So, can we do this? We can do that. Can we do this? If we did that, we would have to do this. Okay, yeah, so we have two options here, and they both kind of work. And I might be able to just kind of work layer by layer down, huh? That's kind of what I did on the other one, at least at first. We can't touch that one now. Then the path, both of those would have to turn off for this. But now this isn't working. And the path, we can't go this way. We can do this. We would need to do that. Ooh, okay, maybe this will work. We can't touch that one though. Okay, yeah, we could do. Oh, hold on. No, this is a problem. Can't get the 2-pip one done, but even though we have the paths, so we can't turn that one off. Can we make this path kind of go around in a way? Oh no. So we can't turn this one off. Like if we tried snaking around this other direction. We can't touch any of these now is the problem. because of these and this. So that doesn't work. If we were to turn this one, well, that's a problem because we have the path broken down here. We can't extend that. So I wonder if this would be easier if I could kind of overlay them on top of each other. If we try and imagine that, like take the right half, flip it, and lay it on top of the other one, and then now trying to visualize on just one half, we want a solid path connecting these two and an empty path connecting this one and this one. What sort of empty path can connect here to here that has two along there? So I mean, it would look something like this. But the issue is an issue. Okay, unless you disconnect. Unless you have some sort of disconnect like this. But we need to have a way for the empty path to get past this point. So one of these sides is going to have to be empty. Right? You can't do this. That's only one. And then it would also require blocking that. If we want the empty path to go down instead, and you're okay. If you go here, you're forced to go here to continue this path and this path. They both have to go down like that. And then if you're here, you can't go here, so you're forced to go here again. You gotta preserve both paths. So yeah, so if you start here, I think you're just kind of forced to keep going straight down. And then once you get to this point, you can only get one there. Okay, there weren't any other choices there, right? Like, based on this initial condition of going this way, I think that implies that this is the only, like, thing you can do in terms of the paths, and then you reach the contradiction of not being able to fix or to satisfy the pip constraint. Right? I don't think there's anything else I can do here. If that's the case, then that one has to be up, and we have to start going down this way. But that means that if this path is going that way, then we have to do this. Okay, so that takes care of this row. And then from here, this one has no choice but to keep going down, which means this one has no choice but to keep going down. Now this one can't go that way, so this one has to go that way. That one has to go there. Now this is done, which means we can't place anything there. So this has to keep going down like this. And now we're here. So that has to go around that way. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. I was gonna say that this is if it was mirrored like the other one, this would be impossible. But it's rotationally symmetric, right? So that's good. That means we can connect. But how do we do this? So all 4 of those have to be on, which means this one has to be off. That one has to be off, which means that one has to be on. Then that one has to be off. That one has to be off. Okay. And there are, well, either pairing is potentially valid. Although, if we're coming all the way down to here, I think that gets tricky because these two the paths start kind of interfering with each other. If I just make like this path work like that. I can't turn this one off now. Unless we break that. But then we're in a similar situation here. Oh wait, we can just go around. Try not to miss the solutions when I have it. Oh. Okay, well we're still rotationally symmetric, and we have this is the grid is 6 by 6, and we have 6 groups of 6. So we're dividing this into we're dividing the whole grid into sectors that fit into all these. So what can we do? What am I doing? That one. That one. We need a single path. What sort of path can we get? There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, two, wait, 6, right? 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, like a direct path gets you exactly as many as you need. But then we can't deal with that. We connect through here. Oh, this is a problem. Oh, that one needs to be off. Okay, but then both of those. We have too many here. Do that instead. Wait, so that's. Ah, shoot. Okay, now we try going this way. We're running into problems. We can't approach it like that because both options break the path. Can we take a long way around? Uh, can we do something like that? No, because then we need these off. Can't do that. Oh, here's a pet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we can do 2 more and add in one of the other groups of 6. I don't see a way to do it. Right. If so the shortest connecting point would be 6. Is there for a point or for a path to go through 12? That would require crossing the line of the triangle shapes twice, which would mean you're back on the same side you started on. So is this not just just one of these shortest paths is going to be the path that we're looking for? The problem is around here, we end up in this sort of situation. Okay, how do we deal with that? That one has to be on. But if we're coming at it from this side, then that's not going to be one of the shorter paths. Yeah, we end up with a problem here. Okay, there's not room for us to cross it 3 times, is there? Is there a spiral that works? We'd have to... Okay, actually a spiral is convenient. Is that just the answer? Oh, there's another one. Do I keep going? I might have to stop if I get one that's gonna take a while. This one looks like it's gonna take a while. Oh no. I mean that works there for that, but not for any of the other ones. Oh gee. That 3, is there a way to get it combined with another one? Because we can't. Or it's probably going to be like something like this, or like this. Or like this. We have a bit more flexibility with that. That takes care of that. It doesn't take care of that one though. Can we go like around? There's 4 and 3, but that's gonna be too many. And that doesn't work right there anymore. So we still needed that. But this isn't gonna work. Yeah, those 2 are not happy. That makes our path longer though. We can do 4 there, but then okay, but we can't. We include both of those. That doesn't work. Is there some way? Let's do this. There's 3. Then this one wants 4, and actually that's not gonna work. We have to even. No, that doesn't add up. For this to work, how can we? We have 3 and 3 and 4. No. Okay, the path that touches both of these doesn't work, right? So one of these must be outside of the path. We can't have something that goes straight down like this, because then we can't deal with both of these, right? And the path definitely can't touch the middle. If we were to try to combine both of those, we end up in this sort of situation. For like they can't be on the path. That's not going to work. Now that means adding this one. Don't want that. That's not gonna work either. Okay, this is gonna take a while to figure out, so I'm gonna stop here for today. Good progress though, after how hard I got stuck last time.